video, and today we're going to talk about rumors about Star Wars Episode 9 getting split in two. And there's that little part of me that wishes this rumor is true because Ryan Johnson didn't really answer any of the questions and that J.J. Abrams set up from The Force Awakens in The Last Jedi, other than doing a poor job of why Luke Skywalker went into hiding and stuff. And I wish we could have seen Luke train Rey in the art of the saber style, like lightsaber style, besides just, okay, I'm going to give you three lessons. The first one, which I think was the coolest one, was Luke explaining to Rey, hey, yeah, the Force is not all about pushing things, lifting things. It's much more about that. It's about life and stuff like that. The second lesson was really about his feels about, yeah, the Jedi may have done some good things, and now that they're extinct, the Jedi are idolized. But if you actually look back on it, they just failed miserably and had dire consequences on the galaxy. Like they let Darth Sidious rise to power without even noticing, and pretty much destroyed the Jedi Order of old, and destroyed the Republic, and in a sense destroyed the Senate as well, in a sense, and let the Empire rise. And the third lesson that was deleted, it was in the deleted scenes, was that Galaxy doesn't really need Luke. It's what I'm guessing from the third lesson. But if you take those three lessons, not one time did you see Luke training Rey in those swords play of the Jedi. The only part I like what Luke said in the first lesson though, about how the Force doesn't only really contain to the Jedi and blah blah blah. If you think it's a conceited way to think about the Jedi can only swoop in and save the galaxy and blah blah blah, all like that. But pretty much my point about bringing the Rey, Luke not teaching Rey saber lessons, and she had to self teach herself in the movie. Getting this episode 9, it's split in two parts, regardless if they're going to bring Luke Skywalker back to life or keep him as Force Ghost. It's going to be cool to see Luke training Rey in some sort arts of the Jedi. That would be cool. Regardless if you dislike The Last Jedi or not, you gotta admit, that would be cool. Regardless if they decide to bring Luke Skywalker back, regardless if they're gonna keep him as a Force Ghost, it'd be cool to see him teaching Rey the ways of the Force. And J.J. Abrams and the episode 9 part 1 and 2 parts than Ryan Johnson chose to do. I feel like since this is a trilogy, right? J.J. Abrams did a wonderful job setting it up. He did a beautiful job setting everything up. Then Ryan Johnson came in. He did kind of like a job of why Luke went into hiding. Uh, And I can see why a lot of people say that they messed up Luke's character. For me, since we had one more movie after The Last Jedi, I was okay with Luke being the grumpy old Jedi. The only problem I really had with Luke, because we got to see hints of the old Luke coming back towards the end of the movie, is that they killed off Luke. That's the only part to Luke Skywalker that I disliked of the Jedi. I mean, of the Last Jedi, is that they killed off they killed off Luke Skywalker, which I okay. He shut himself off from the Force, right? Okay, I can get that, but having passed out and I die, that. Anyways, so having them have episode 9, and then we'll get more of an explanation, and we'll get, I guess, a better chance of having a decent storytelling, and have more respect to the OTG original trilogy characters. But also, I'm kind of skeptical about this news because, yeah, as much as it could potentially save this, unite the Star Wars fandom, it will make that Lucasfilms look like, oh yeah, we just want some more money. So screw having a trilogy. We're gonna have a quadrilogy, splitting the last part into two. I mean, they did that to Harry Potter, Twilight, and The Hobbit, pretty much. You know, like with Hobbit, Twilight, Harry Potter, the last book was split into two movies. Even though The Hobbit was, from what I've heard, could have just been into two movies, which, as a moviegoer, when I saw like the first like 10 minutes of The Hobbit, I was saying, yeah, they could have just made this into two movies. But that was me not reading the book, so I wouldn't know for sure. But with Harry Potter and The Hunger Games and Twilight, it makes sense why they decided to split those things into two parts, because they were based off a book. So they wanted to take their time a little bit more to explain things. But here we are with Star Wars. This is supposed to be a trilogy. Episode 2. Sorry. Episode 8. Sorry. It's supposed to be the part where we get the most explanation about stuff. So I'm just waiting on a person. Right on the light. But yeah, episode 8 being the middle part of the trilogy. It's supposed to give us a lot of questions. Well, like answering at least 90%. No, wait, 70, at least 75% of the questions that were left in The Force Awakens, leaving 25% of the questions possibly unanswered for episode 9 to answer, plus a little bit, plus some of the questions The Last Jedi had pretty much made us ask. We're not supposed to really still be asking who's Rey's parentage. I mean, granted that Kylo Ren could have been lying about Rey's parents being junk dealers on Jakku, but we still don't really know much about Rey, Finn, or Poe, our newer main, our current heroes of the Star Wars galaxy now in this trilogy. We don't really know that many things about those three characters yet. We, I don't know, and we don't know much. And they totally disrespected Luke Skywalker, in my opinion, by killing him off in a cheap ass death scene. So yeah, episode 9 splitting it into two might in a way be a good idea, but it also defeats the entire purpose. I'm trying to sum this up because I could go on for hours, but I'll possibly do that in my one of my Star Wars my future Star Wars Renathon streams, where I'll get into more detail on how I feel about the whole episode 9 getting split into two parts. But long story short, because I also got to get ready to because somebody's picking me up to go somewhere. Pretty much long story short, I dig that more of explanation, like get more answers, questions, get more questions answered that Ryan Johnson stupidly failed. I was gonna say stupidly failed, but he chose to not answer those questions in episode 8 that that J.J. Abrams. So having episode 9 being split in two would be a good. Hey, yeah, we're gonna finally answer the questions that was failed to be answered in the Last Jedi in part 1 of episode 9. The but also it could seem like a cash grab thing, like, oh, we want more money, blah 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 blah. Which, I mean, that's not exactly bad because part of releasing movies in movie theaters is that you are hoping people will see it, which implies that you get that movie will make money, hopefully more money than you spent on that movie. But there's that other part of me that's not excited for episode 9, or doesn't want episode 9 to be split into two, only because that would defeat the entire purpose of Star of this new trilogy being a new trilogy. Because if they decide to put episode 9 in two parts, then it would be like a quadrilogy. And by that standard, they might as well call episode 9 part 2 Star Wars episode 10. I mean, might as well, since if they're going to go through with making episode 9 into two parts, they might as well call episode 9 part 2 episode 10. I mean, I don't know. I know, right, Nemo? But, so, I feel like what one of my favorite YouTubers was this SC Reviews said, just make that episode 9 like about 3 hours. About, I would say 3 hours and 20 minutes, so we can have some of at least like a lot of the questions that we got out from the Force Awakens can be answered in the last in episode 9, while still having hopefully a semi or an out of the park in good way ending of the Skywalker uh story. Oh, and one more thing before I end this video. I want Rey to be the descendant of Luke's daughter. Like possibly have a fit where Luke's got like this would be a good time to bring in Mara Jade. Have in between the Return of the Jedi and the Force Awakens, where Luke and Mara banged a little bit during between those years, and pretty much Mara Jade possibly having a child in secret, not telling Luke whatsoever, and but also having giving Rey off to adoption, which is how she went on to Jakku. I don't know. It'd be an interesting. I don't know. I just hope that Rey is a Skywalker and keep some keep Lando uh in the keep Lando alive, please. Just keep Lando alive because and at least some of the new trilogy. Why I didn't say Leia because unfortunately since Carrie Fisher has passed, I'll be okay with them killing Leia off as long as they don't do it in the same way as with Luke Skywalker. See, because I was okay with Han Solo's death. It made sense to me. The execution could have been a little bit better, just a little bit. I was okay with Han Solo dying in The Force Awakens because to me that made sense. Awakens and not with Luke dying in The Last Jedi. But yeah, with Leia, I as long as they don't like fuck her up, I'll be okay with like with her dying. So long story short, I'm split in between uh liking and disliking episode 9 being turned to two parts. So what do you guys think? Do you guys want episode 9 to be split into two parts? Leave a comment below and may the force be with us all. So I need this. Okay, I'm trying to end this. Crap. No. As I try to do that, my right decides to text me, blocking the uh part where I end this vid. So anyway, see you guys. Hope you enjoyed the vid.